Don't blink, it's you blink. Welcome to the Show. We're doing well because having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025, at Canada Day. They were doing a subject that is quite important, and it's Canadian guilt. So, what is Canadian guilt? So, I wanted to do this video kind of like as a white person guilt, when you say, okay, well, my ancestor did some really shitty things. So that's white person guilt. Canadian guilt is, to me, it's something that I'm struggling a lot, and there's a couple of reasons to struggle with that. So when you talk about me, I'm Canadian. On paper, I'm Canadian, but when you talk to me, I'm French Canadian. So I'm from Quebec, which is the French part of Canada. I told you guys why Canada got discovered by the French. Then the English people came in and conquered. But then there's this place. Even I was talking to a Moldavian. Moldavia is like that. Moldavia is in between Romania and Russia. And if you go in Moldavia, people speak the two languages. They speak Romanian and they speak Russian. But then, if you were, they prefer to speak Romanian because Romanian kind of conquered in a more peaceful way than Russian. So with Canadian, that's it. I'm French Canadian. My father is old school. I was raised by my father. I was raised by him. My father, if I talk to English at home, now, it's kind of crazy. My father, absolutely a role model for me. Absolutely a role model for me. But at the same time, it was rough. My father, who didn't allow me to speak English, but at the same time, when I learned English, he's like, okay, well, this is really good. You're really good at English. And this is quite useful. When he has a question, he asks me, When he's talking to someone on the phone, he's like, okay, well, talk to my son, That's like a big pride. My mom was completely bilingual, But the Canadian guilt, it's something I'm feeling a lot. And it's something I'm feeling a lot lately as a content creator. So I've been making content for 4 years. I'm 32 years old, which means this is the 8th of my life. Since I have been a content creator, I have a hard time. My real name is Stefan. Hi, nice to meet you. Between the difference between Stefan and Ing Vendetta, I feel like Stefan is the person I am in the streets, in real life. I feel like Ing Vendetta is the person I am on social media. Both of them are the same person, which is how people just how people perceive you. You perceive me as using my internet name, or you perceive me as using a more personal name, And there's nothing. Both are good. Both are great. So Canadian is also that. When I started making content, I'm French. I was raised French. I hated my life, but I hated the person that was even more. So we started making content in a very in a very English way, to step aside as much as possible. And then, as time came, I discovered self-love and self-confidence. So with self-love and self-confidence, I made content that was more French, right? And it's funny because lately was the Saint Jean, which is the French Heritage of Canada celebration. And I made a lot of content in French. And it felt good. I did my first stream in French, which is good. Did my first time in French, which is really good. And it was fun. It was fun. But then on Canada Day, I feel this remorse. And I feel this remorse because of multiple reasons. And they're all, in my opinion, kind of good reason. We're playing the Tower, by the way, which is a great AFK game. AFK that I need to play. So why do I have Canadian guilt? Well, because I was raised as a French Canadian. I was raised as, well, your French heritage is very important. It's way more important than your English heritage, so you speak French. But when other people ask me, people from different countries, like, oh, I'm from Canada. I'm not going to say I'm from Quebec because nobody knows Quebec. So why am I feeling guilty? Well, when you ask me, I'm saying I'm French Canadian. Because on paper, I'm Canadian. And I'm Canadian when it's convenient to be Canadian, and I'm not Canadian when it's not convenient to be Canadian. This country has such a good heritage. This country is also super meaningful. We're at peace. We have a lot of natural resources. It's a good place to live. Compared to, is it the best country in the world? No, but you see our neighbors, which is America, and it's going so badly. And I think, well, we're pretty lucky. We're pretty good, So yeah, so Canada is a good place to live, and I should be more proud of my Canada. I'm kind of ashamed to say, for the longest of time, Canada Day was it's a good day for a great episode of Trailer Park Boys. To me, being Canadian was Trailer Park Boys, was Canadian versus Penny. You know? And that shouldn't be what being Canadian is about. It should be your pride, your patriotism. I'm Canadian, I love Canada, right? Even Timmy is completely changing. People are doing some super racist shit, saying like it's Tim Hortons right now because there's a lot of people that are coming from India that are working at Tim Hortons, and they're saying, oh, it's not a Canadian company anymore. It's rough. It's rough. And then I don't apply myself with politics a lot. So, for example, the last time that I actually look at the Canadian thing was for the election. You know, and you know what's even worse? When I came into the apartment again, my very first time not having to speak French, not you know, I had very small amount of channel. I had an antenna. And the antenna pick up 8 channel, which is 4 French, which is Radio Canada, TVA, Radio Québec, and Nouveau. And I had 4 English. So CW, Global, City TV, which I used to watch Bachelor, and Global, yeah, which I used to watch Big Brother. You know? It was nuts. It was really nuts. Because that show often came to me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm enjoying the show. I'm really enjoying the show. So I would listen to a lot of English channel. And I would listen to more. For example, I would listen to Maury Povich, to Jerry Springer. And then Big Brother Canada came in and like, oh my god, it's good to be Canadian. And there's a lot of guilt. And the fact that I'm not making enough of an effort to be Canadian. I'm not making enough of an effort to embrace those roots. I'm not making enough of an effort to actually portray our heritage. You know? I'll talk about the news and I'll talk about it in French because it's a Montreal news. Right? And that sucks. That really sucks. They should be making more of an effort. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Please. It's tough for me. I have never felt racism. At the same time, I would embrace my French Canadian heritage. Today, we bought some nipple cookies because we're celebrating Canada Day. This was my way to promote Canadian culture. Is our culture only cookies? No, it's much more. It's rough. It's really rough. Because on one side you want to do so much, but on the other side you're like, okay, well, what can I do? Where does my capacity to act start, and where does it end? You know, it's tough.